Hey everyone, welcome to the live stream of episode 148 and slash the live recording of the Special Conditions podcast. We appreciate you being here. And it's early. I mean, it's not as early as normal. Normally it's 9:30. Today it's 9:45, 47. All right. Anyways, we were just discussing before jumping on this, why isn't there a rap, like a polka rap with, because it doesn't make sense. Because you can ride on Maridon and ride on Caridon. I was like, gotta ride on Maridon, ride on Caridon. I know that I'm a terrible rapper. I'm not trying to rap, but
wouldn't you cry on Caridon?
And you could cry on Caridon while riding on Maridon.
There you go.
There we go. We just first verse already done, and then eating copious amounts of bananas with Metropius. There we go. We got 2 verses. Let's go.
Bustin' rhymes.
Bustin' rhymes early in the morning. This is like when people are like 2 a.m. thoughts. These are my 2 a.m. thoughts at 9:45 in the morning.
Good.
Anywho, we're gonna start the podcast now.
Oh, is that what we're here for?
I think so. What's up, Pokemon trading card game fans? Welcome to episode 148 of Special Conditions, the TCG podcast, where our love for competing and collecting collide. Special Conditions is the part. Special Conditions is part of the Pokemon Professor Network, and today is August 2nd, 2023. I'm one of your hosts, Adam Tuttle, joined by my co-host, as always, Justin Keller. What's going on? I can't talk. It's too early.
Did you say August? We've made it that far?
August. That means Worlds is so close. And that means GoFest is so close.
Wait, that's the wrong podcast for that.
The rotation of the format is so close.
I mean, kind of.
Oh, okay, it's not that close, but these are very happening times in the Pokemon world.
Okay, you should say news about rotation for format is so close.
Oh, news about formation.
Rotation.
Oh, man, I haven't finished my coffee. I've had like 3 sips of it. We will get there. We have I want to say shorter, but a fun little podcast today. We're going to talk about these articles are coming from Pokemon.com. Obsidian Flames early look. Pokemon.com put out an article. It's funny, and Justin's going to read it while I react. And then we've got World's Cards Power Rankings. Again, from Pokemon.com. The new season is upon us. We'll look into that as well, because that stuff was announced, and you need a little bit more championship points, and they're making it harder in the long scheme to get to Worlds. They want it smaller, which is understandable. There's a lot of people going to Worlds. Like, there's so many people in Japan right now. And then we're talking about more regionals that were announced, because one is sort of close to Justin. So we might talk about the thoughts of going there and hanging out with Justin. Because part of the new season, if you win a regionals, you are automatically guaranteed a Worlds invite.
Ooh, exciting.
And then I have a TGA card that I got graded. I wanted it to have the flow because, it's your boy. I think it's Saguaro. But he's got, like, Delibird is right there. Peeking out. He's showing them how to wash their hands. They got to have proper hand washing techniques. So
you should ask them if they would do a special Delibird label.
Justin, you're gonna get me in trouble, because I'm gonna have to redo all of my Delibirds if that's the case.
I didn't say anything.
You clearly did, and I will bring it up next time I go in. But speaking of TGA, this episode of the Special Conditions podcast is brought to you by the Grading Authority. TGA offers an innovative card grading experience with a focus on collectors and community. for the collector, by the collector. You gotta just do it.
With the collector, from the collector.
From the collector, be the collector. You are the collector. Visit tgacards.com to learn more, and be sure to check out their slab designer and Pokemon Flow labels to see for yourself what makes Pokemon Professor Network proud to be a TGA partner. Don't forget to use code FULLHEAL, no spaces, FULLHEAL, at checkout for 10% off your total order. Thank you to the team at the Grading Authority for supporting the Special Conditions podcast. All right, Justin. We're getting into the first article.
That we are. This one.
Because you started talking about this, and I just got a kick out of it instantly.
Yes. So, an early look at cards from Pokemon TCG Scarlet and Violet Obsidian Flames expansion. The latest Pokemon trading card game expansion is almost here when it comes on August 11th, 2023. August 11th, that's like 9 days away. You'll find over 190 cards featuring type-shifted Terra Pokemon EX, new Pokemon EX, dozens of special illustration cards, and more. Join us as we take a look at some awesome cards that can be found in this expansion.
Let me just quickly butt in and say I went to a pre-release, and I got my 4 packs from my Build and Battle box. My 2 hollows that I got, or whatever. I think you got. I got 4, but they were all Togekiss and Entei. Which, if you're familiar with the pre-release decks, you either get a Togekiss deck or a Camerupt deck.
What was your stamp card?
My stamp card was a Togekiss.
Oh.
And not to mention, the last 3 packs that I pulled, like they give you after you play, I also got another hollow Togekiss and another hollow Entei. And I got a Greta. But I got 0 hits. It felt bad. For this set to have so many new dozens of special cards and exciting things, I got 0.
Well,
I know
me
it's
in the past,
roll of the dice, but
still. A lot of those pre-release boxes are either like hot fire and they're just firing out the hit after hit after hit, or it's utter garbage. At least now you're guaranteed hollows, whereas before I've gone 4 for 4 and no hollow.
See, at least I brought Ashton, and Ashton pulled a full art. No, well, it's a full art supporter. I don't know. It's not Penny, but it looks like Penny. I don't know what the tamer is or trainer is. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the trainer names yet.
But he pulled that one, and I was like, let's put that in a sleeve. Like, we're gonna keep that one safe. He got the Cleffa for his stamp promo.
Oh, nice.
And at the end, for the 3 packs, he pulled Houndoom EX. But for the most part, there wasn't anything like notable. There wasn't anything really exciting. Only one person that was at the pre-release pulled a Charizard.
Really?
Yeah, for a set that's all about Charizard. It's just weird. And I did see somebody pull this Reverome. I saw this. This was just sitting out on a table. I was like, that's cool. I stopped to peek at it. I was like, that's a really nice art.
It is. And steering us back on track is this Reverome EX. It is a vehicle. Reverome EX is racing into action on one of Team Star's Starmobiles, and it looks ready for a scrap. Amid the smoke,
the scrap heap. Throw this card in the trash.
Okay.
It's just...
okay. But you can feel the power emanating from this Pokemon. Your opponents will feel it too. When Reverome EX's Wild Drift attack hits the Pokemon for impressive 170 damage.
170 for impressive. 3? Do you know how much Arceus V-Star does? 200 for 3. And you get to search for 2 extra energies. What does this card do?
But during the next turn, Reverome EX takes 30 less damage. To give Reverome EX even more of a boost, its tune-up ability allows you to attach up to 4 Pokemon tools to it. That's sure to help this Pokemon EX's motor running.
Okay, it's a stage 2.
Stage 1.
Stage 1. Okay, stage 1. So that's not that bad, but the energy to get it there, you're going to have to spend a turn using Greta in order to get this thing powered up. But you could play Greta, you could use 4 different tools. I don't know what you would use as tools.
Yeah. Well, so this is illustrated by tough one.
I like that they have
Sushiro Gunjima.
I like that they just have like a Galarian Zigzagoon as its like hat. I know it's the motor, like the engine piece of it, but it looks just like a Galarian Zigzagoon. They just crushed it up and
tongue coming out there, and it's like the black and white.
Yeah, they just crushed him up and threw him in there.
Yeah, that's how it works.
But we've seen this ability before. It's on Honchkrow V.
Yeah.
So, and how many people have played Honchkrow V? How many tournaments has it won? Have you seen anybody playing it?
There's a 12-year-old kid that comes to one of my locals that likes to play that deck.
Okay. So I guess they're hitting the right audience with that.
Yeah. So for our next one, Ice QEX, illustrated by 5Bond Graphics. I forget, did we discuss, is 5Bond like their internal team?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Ice QX is looking more sparkly than ever in its terrestrialized form, but this is no ordinary Ice Q. Ice QX is type shifted Terra Pokemon EX. Traditionally a water type Pokemon, this Ice QX is instead a fire type. Its scalding block attack, however, will still requires water type energy.
Which is good for Baxcalibur decks. So if grass ever becomes prevalent, because Charizard EX is the terrestrialized one is weak to grass. Oh, weird. If that ever becomes big and grass becomes big again, you can tech this in to be able to counter that.
This attack does 160 damage, but it requires you to discard an energy from Ice QX. However, as a trade-off, the defending Pokemon can't attack during your opponent's next turn. Way to defend yourself, Ice QEX.
Well, I'm just going to retreat or use switch. Anyways.
Whoa. How dare you?
There are ways around this card. Use escape rope. Play escape rope. Use rhyme.
Again.
Because rhyme lets you draw 3 cards and it's an escape rope for your opponent.
All right. So do we want to get into the Terra discussion again? Do we think that it's just going to be prevent damage done to it on the bench for forever? Or do we think it'll be like a by year thing? Like next year, they'll switch it up?
I'm not sure.
Because, they like to switch things up year over year. I'm wondering what next year will be.
Well, then they certainly won't do Terra types. It's going to be something different. Because this is the gimmick right now. This is the gimmick. And so typically we'll have, so we've got SV, we've got SV2, Paldea Evolved, and then we've got Obsidian Flame. So there's going to be one more that has Terra type things, and then it'll switch into a new rotation because that's how they do it. They do 4 sets of something.
We talked about what it could be last week, 2 weeks
because it was Battle Styles, Fusion Strike. I don't know what they were. But
there's Evolving Skies in there. You should know that one. Chilling Pain.
Oh gosh, that was a pain.
All right. Speaking of a pain, Pidgeot EX.
This would be phenomenal if this was not an EX. Because this is also a nod. Remember we had that discussion about LBS? This is the Pidgeot. This is the exact Pidgeot from like that. So like the deck is physically viable to recreate now for the most part. But Pidgeot is a liability. Even though it does what it did in the past, it's a very big liability.
It said that Pidgeot can flap its wings with such force that it will create a gust of wind capable of bending trees.
Trees? They do that anyways.
Well,
have you not seen a Pidgey use gust? I've seen Pidgey use Gust, and the whole forest
It's-
shakes. You know?
Well, it's shaking because of all the bugs in it.
Oh, okay. That really bugs me.
The power is reflected with Pidgeot EX and its blustery wind attack. The attack is so blustery, in fact, that it allows you to blow away any stadium card in play, in addition to doing 120 damage. Pidgeot EX can also be extremely useful for getting a specific card into your hand thanks to its quick search ability, which lets you search your deck for any card you want. I like how it leads with the attack. That's just kind of whatever.
Well, it did the same thing with Reverum.
Yeah.
I was like, tell me about its ability. That's the first thing on the card.
The ability that everyone wants. That's exciting.
Yeah.
They're like,
I mean,
they just throw away at the end.
It does have 280 hit points for stage 2, so it's not going down without a fight.
Yeah.
But
well,
it's...
If you remember, Reverum was a stage 1 with 280.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, it is what it is. I do like the fact that you can search for any card, which allows you to go search for like Collapse Stadium. So like as soon as you know that like you've got your 2 turns of grabbing whatever you need, you can get rid of it. Like, oh, they hit it on the bench. So, I'm going to use Collapse Stadium, get rid of it.
Oh, that's fun.
So you can play to your advantage.
So,
and you can still play that with Baxcalibur. So Chen Pao, it could still work. I also had what's the I think it's like Stormy Seas, or what's the stadium that reduces 20 damage?
Oh, I mean, there's a few of them.
I played a game with Drew from TGA at the pre-release, and I had Dragonite with a water energy on it, and he attacked me, but wasn't able to knock me out because he put down that stadium.
The Dragonite EX?
Yeah.
I thought you said you didn't pull anything.
No. This was like a fun game. I played Lost Box versus his Chen Pao.
Got it. Oh, Dragonite V.
Yes. Sorry.
Okay.
But
I thought we were talking about pre-release cards.
I had a water energy on my Dragonite, and he attacked me. Oh, yeah, I know there's a Dragonite in this set. I am very confusing. I apologize. Yeah, so he attacked me, but it was Lake Acuity. That's what it is.
Yes, I could picture it. There's like a mountain, and there's
snow in my head, I'm like water. Stormy Mountains, but no, it's not that, because that's, yeah. Yeah, so I was like, wow, that's not the best stadium to throw in there. But honestly, if you can just play like even Squawkability, whatever, Squawkability's
ability.
That way, I just Squawkability. That's what I would rather call it.
We're just gonna call it that now. Squawkability.
So Squawkability, you can play that, discard your hand, draw 6, find that Collapse Stadium, and just play it. I mean, not saying like that's the best list, or I mean, clearly it's not, because Luminion still is the pick of choice there.
The pick of destiny.
Per Limitless TCG, all the stats on all the top Chen Paos. So clearly it's not the best.
Let's look at the stats of the Chandelure. It is illustrated by Haru Akasaka. It is a stage 2, 150 HP fire Pokemon. This is a... What's the term I'm looking for? It's not a basic. It's a single prizer. Looking to turn up the heat, Chandelure's Heat Blast attack can deliver a quick singe that does a respectable 150 damage. However, if your opponent had been strengthening their active Pokemon, perhaps Chandelure's Combustion Chain attack will prove more effective. On its own, Combustion Chain does a measly 10 damage, but will do an extra 50 damage for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. Play your cards right, and this attack can generate some serious firepower. Kakapow!
The pun is real. This is, again, it's a stage 2, and we have better stage 2s in the game that are fire and or that are dark that use fire energies that could do like 310 damage.
Yeah.
So it's kind of ridiculous. I love the art. This set, I will say, this set has some magnificent art.
Yeah, I mean, it just looks like Looks like they did it with watercolors, like one of those fancy paint by numbers.
Yes. It's gorgeous. And honestly, so many cards in this set just like scream from the rooftops like this needs to be hung up on a wall.
Hmm.
And I'm here for it. And that's just something I noticed and I was just like, wow, all this is great. But what I was going to say is Camerupt is easier to get the cards you need. Like it's easier to put a fire energy on the top or like guarantee that and hit for 50 plus the potential to do 250 for 2 energies. And it's a stage 1.
Mm-hmm. All right. The next one, and I think the final one of this article, is Buffalant, illustrated by Yuya Oka. And you're talking about art. I love the art on this Buffalant. I don't care for
Zoom in real
Buffalant
quick.
as a Pokemon, but this is incredible.
And lightning striking a tree behind it. Just
it's like
small
it's like a
things.
buffalo. The lightning striking the tree. It's like the sky is lit up from the lightning strike, but it's dark down below with the clouds. It's pretty great.
And we've seen that boofer ability before where this Pokemon takes 20 less damage.
Oh, I like how what we just said is in the description here. With Buffalant roaring while lightning strikes a nearby tree, this card paints an intense scene. And with its Boofer ability reducing the damage that Buffalant takes from attacks by 20, it seems this Pokemon is ready for some intense action. When it's time to go on the offense, its damage rush attack can make short work of your opponent, if luck is on your side. This attack does just 50 damage on its own, but when using it, you must also flip a coin until you get tails. Each time you get heads, Damage Rush does another 30 damage. If the flips are in your favor, your opponent will feel the intensity too.
What's that? What's the it's a hoo, 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 hoo. From the Hunger Games. May the odds be ever in your favor.
Oh goodness.
No, I love this
I
art.
think I said that they go like this and then they put their hands up to the I don't remember. It's been a long time.
I don't know. If you know, let us know. I don't know. Any of these like flip a coin until you get tails, they're just kind of ridiculous. But honestly, you could just throw one of these and it could be the end of the game. Okay. This is like Worlds live stream. Like this is what that card is made for. This is something for the live streams. This is what this is made for. They're like, it does damage. It might not be the best, but it does damage. And you could just keep flipping heads. So they could have a Charizard. How much HP does Charizard have? 310?
I think it's 330.
Okay, 330. So you could play this, bring it out. Last match. This is to win it all. And you could just be like, I'm going to flip coins. Just keep flipping coins and imagine taking the win with this. How insane that would be. How insane would that be?
This is when we need Glenwood Tangle back to redo your flips.
Oh, don't worry. We'll get something like that back. We've learned in the Pokemon TCG that history repeats itself.
Oh, man. Do you remember, what was that? Was it Porygon? There was some deck that flipped so many coins. And then they would do Glenwood Tangle and redo it again.
It was either that or Victini. Something with Victini where it's like you flip 2 heads and it does.
Yeah, I think it was there a Porygon VMAX? I don't know. But yeah. Okay.
That was a wonderful article, by the way. I love the puns.
Yeah.
They were very punny, if you will.
Ho ho ho.
And before we continue, we are going to peel to reveal the Saguaro. Is that how you say it? I don't know.
I thought it was Saguaro. How's it spelled?
Saguaro.
Let's see. Let me find. Nope, we got it. Wrong person. There we go.
Oh, that's. I mean, that's fine. Hide me. Hide my face, please. No. Are we live streaming this? Can people see me right now?
I mean, it's a little dark on your side, but
how? I've literally got like a light shining on me. I've got my ceiling light. I don't know. I could open my window, but then light's not where it needs to be.
All right. Well, so how's it spelled? S-A-G. I don't know. I'm gonna say Saguaro.
Saguaro.
Oh, maybe it's Saguro.
Saguaro. Saguaro is what it looks like. All right. Oh, I gotta.
I'm gonna guess 9.5.
I'm gonna say. I mean, it looks good. It's just the centering's off. So I'll say 8.5. If I were to. Oh my god, this is like.
It's really stuck.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that. I like that flow label.
I can't.
Though. It's killing me. I guessed it right. 9.5.
9.5? Oh my god, the window. The window. Look at that. Oh, it's so good. That's so good.
I wonder how they do that. Like, do they?
I believe they have a freelance artist that they work with.
Oh, that's cool.
Holy cow. 10 out of 10 would highly recommend. Get a flow label. This is so sick. And then once they have the image, that's what they'll use if like anybody else did a Saguaro. That's so cool though.
Yeah, boy.
That's so cool.
I'm gonna have to do that for my Alt-Art Dragonite V.
I'm very, very impressed. Thank you, TGA. That is gorgeous. Wow. Wows. That's all I've got. That's all I've got is wows.
So, are we ready for the next article?
Yes.
Do you want to read it or you want me to read it?
Yeah. Are we talking about worlds?
Let's see. Oh, here, let's do not that one.
Hey, oh, there we go. All right. The Pokemon World Championships are well known for their exciting unpredictability, with many players sticking with their powerful archetypes and many others taking a gamble on new decks that won't stop our power rankings panel from putting forward their best guesses as to what we can expect in Yokohama. One thing they can all be sure of, the matches over the weekend will be incredible to watch and be a part of. Remember that you can watch the Pokemon TCG World Championships from August 11th to the 13th on twitch.tv/Pokemon TCG and twitch.tv/Pokemon, including the final matches across all age divisions on Sunday, August 13th. Good luck to everyone at Worlds. And this article, again, coming straight from Pokemon.com. Rank number 1, Gardevoir EX. Despite not winning the North America International Championships, Gardevoir EX is still at the top of our rankings list. As anticipated, Scarlet and Violet Paldea Evolved elevated the deck to new heights thanks to Super Rod, Reversal Energy, and Iono. And it has so far been one of the most successful archetypes. We have seen a lot of creative innovations from players to keep Gardevoir EX in check. Cards like Box of Disaster and Panic Mask take advantage of the damage inflicted by the Psychic Embrace ability and can be great help against Gardevoir EX. Another popular way to deal with the deck is aggressively using the stadium card Lost City to prevent their Gardevoir EX from using Super Rod to get their Gardevoir line back in play. Using Radiant Greninja's Moonlight Shuriken attack with Cross Switcher and canceling Cologne to turn off Manaphy's Wave Veil ability can also pose great trouble for Gardevoir EX, especially in the early stages of the game. This is exactly what happened in one of my League Cup matches because I got Greninja so quick and was able to take out 2 routes, and they basically just were like, "Yep, I scoop." I was able to get 10, and I was able to be like, I showed them my hand. I was like, I literally have Sableye. I can get the 10th card in, and I'll knock out your other routes. He continues to say, I expect players to adapt their Gardevoir EX list to include Skysteel Stone to deal with the multitude of Pokemon V-Star and V-Max decks that have kept increasing in popularity after NAIC. This was a card that was commonly included before Scarlet and Violet Paldea evolved, but fell out of favor, replaced by Forest Steel Stone or an increased... Do you keep increasing this?
Sorry, I've been increasing it so people can read it.
I'm trying to read it. Replace count. replaced by Forest Steel Stone or increased rare candy count for more aggressive opening. The Mirage Step Kirlia is another interesting inclusion in the deck. This Kirlia has seen little play outside of Japan compared with the Kirlia from Sword and Shield Silver Tempest. Heading into the World Championships, I think that more international players will realize that using Mirage Step is a great way to combat Lost City or save an otherwise lackluster opening with few routes in play. The article is written by Tord Reklev. Or this one was written by Tord Reklev.
So are you familiar with Mirage Step Curlier?
I am not.
For a single psychic, Mirage Step.
Click it.
Search your... Oh.
Yeah, there's a little thing right there.
Well, I opened it on another page.
Oh.
For a single psychic, search your deck for up to 3 Curly and put them onto your bench, then shuffle your deck.
Ooh, that's gnarly.
Yeah, so I always thought of... I mean, I only built this once. I've only played it the one time. But I had this one in there, so if I thought I needed it, let's say I missed getting my team of Ralts out there. You search for this one, you put this into the active, use Mirage Step to get out your other Curlia. So that way, if they lost zone your Ralts, they knock them out, whatever, you're not a turn behind.
Yeah, there was a Frogadier that when Greninja break, like that whole line, that was very in play. Mm-hmm. So there was a Frogadier that allowed you to search for other Frogadiers. So I think that's what that must be a callback to that, because Gardevoir has multiple evolution lines.
Yeah. I wonder,
Greninja
you
had
think
multiple.
You play one, or you think you play 2 of these?
I would just play one, because the thought is you get this one out and like you're behind, like you lost 2 routes. Mm-hmm. You play Curlia, or you evolve one of your 3 routes because they just knocked out 2 of them. You bring out Curlia, attach an energy, search your deck for 3 of the good ones. So it's essentially searching your deck for like 3 barrels, 3 setup cards. And that's huge. That is huge. Yeah. I didn't even know that this thing existed. So thanks, Pokemon.com. And
right, let's get back to where we're at.
All right, number 2, Arceus V-Star. I like how it's not a specific deck. It's just Arceus V-Star, because it can go with anything. Play Lycanroc. Arceus V-Star is nothing if not reliable. It's making yet another appearance here in the power rankings, and despite being the oldest deck on our list, it remains one of the best positioned at this stage. I think most of us envision Arceus V-Star teaming up with Duraludon VMAX or Giratina V-Star. Of course, Ian Robb just took second place at NAIC with a Duraludon variant, but Giratina V-Star has been the talk of the town in recent weeks. Although Starbirth binds them together, they're pretty different decks. The Duraludon VMAX variant, sometimes paired with Umbreon VMAX, makes its living on setting up a powerful Duraludon VMAX and hoping to steamroll through enough Pokemon V or Pokemon EX before an opponent can take down Duraludon VMAX. Umbreon VMAX was a helpful contributor to this mission, allowing for ready targeting of a smaller Pokemon V for an easy 2-prize knockout. This is the slower variant of the 2, though. There are games that you'll hope to win through stalling with Duraludon VMAX Skyscraper ability alone, which is really tempting, especially on day 1 of Worlds, where a heavily favored matchup is especially welcome sight. On the other hand, Giratina V-Star is a bit more aggressive. The goal? Lost Impact a bunch of the opposing Pokemon into oblivion. Often paired with Babarrel, this variant looks to draw through the deck quickly and maintain an aggressive tempo. That's something of a pretty substantial worth at Worlds, and it's why I think I'd give this variant the edge heading into Yokohama. Of course, Arceus V-Star is quite flexible. Michael Catron just showed us a successful Arceus V-Star deck featuring Slacking V, Umbreon VMAX, Flying Pikachu VMAX, and more at NAIC. Can Arceus repeat as world champion? It has a good chance. Coming from Christopher Schemanske. Click Slacking V. I don't know what that does.
Yeah, I forgot what it is. Kind of lazy. If you have exactly 2, 4, 6 prize cards remaining, this Pokemon can't attack. For 4 energy, it has heavy impact. 260. So it's circumstantial. but it hits really hard. 260.
Okay. I see that. 260.
Weak to fighting. There's not a lot of fighting being played. Okay.
Like in rock. Sorry.
Like I said, not a lot. Here, you want me to read this next one? It's a pretty long article.
I can do it still. This is
Okay.
Lost Box. I can do it. But you're gonna have to. So number 3 on the list is Lost Box or Lost Zone Box. I feel like it's just Lost Box at this point. Lost Zone Toolbox is a powerful and aggressive archetype capable of powering attacks with Mirage Gate. After putting 7 cards in the Lost Zone with Color's Experiment and Comfy's Flower Selecting ability, this combination has led to many tournament wins over the course of the season, most notably at the Oceania International Championships. At NAIC, however, while the deck had solid finishes, it didn't do as well as expected. This was mostly due to RCSV Star's impressive performance. Does this mean that Lost Box is on its way out of the metagame? Absolutely not. The deck still boasts a good matchup against several key archetypes, notably Gardevoir EX, thanks to its ability to take out low HP Pokemon like Ralts and Kirlia with Radiant Greninja and Sableye. Most importantly, more than any other archetype in the format, Lost Box can be customized to adapt to the metagame. The rise of Arceus V-Star, not to mention Inteleon VMAX, Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX, is troublesome for Lost Box. But I have no doubt that Worlds caliber players will find ways to adapt. Kyogre was the most popular build of the deck before Scarlet and Violet Paldea evolved, and its Aqua Storm attack could be the late game power burst that Lost Box needs to triumph over Arceus V-Star. Or maybe the current variants could be even faster using the new Squawkability EX. Squawkability to draw even more cards even sooner. No matter which variant ends up the most popular, I'm sure no serious player is counting Lost Box out right now. And that's from Stéphane Ivanoff. And I'll let you read the last one. And if this is the last one.
I think there's 5.
Oh, okay. Then I'll read the next one.
Qin-Pao EX. Rain Dance is a historied and much-loved archetype. So the introduction of Baxcalibur to the Pokemon TCG expansion drew a lot of attention. It seemed too good to be true that the set also included a perfect partner in Qin-Pao EX, an easy way to recover energy cards and superior energy retrieval. Competitors at NAIC agreed with that sentiment, with most giving the deck the cold shoulder in favor of Gardevoir EX, Lost Box, and Arceus V-Star.
I like what they did there.
It is time to start saying your Hailblades and believing in the power of Qin-Pao EX. This Pokemon can knock out any Pokemon V or EX in just one hit. There may have been some hesitation to bring Qin-Pao EX to battle because of the need to recover and put loads of energy into play each turn, which becomes particularly challenging if the opponent knocks out Baxcalibur. Fortunately, Pokemon like Arceus V-Star and Origin Form Palkia V-Star provide alternate ways to accelerate water energy onto the battlefield, and they offer a sustainable way to knock out low HP Pokemon too. Thanks to Qin-Pao EX's reliance on water energy, the deck can make use of Radiant Greninja's Moonlight Shuriken attack to both take multiple prize cards in one turn and disrupt the setup of decks like Lost Box and Gardevoir EX. Good decision making and adaptability are the keys to success for competitors who bring Qin-Pao EX to the World Championships. By Ellis Longhurst. I'm not familiar with Ellis.
I'm not either, but great article. I mean,
yeah, great insight there.
Yeah, it's Qin-Pao's weird. I saw it firsthand. I was playing somebody the last round, and it's like they just couldn't draw into anything. It was just like water energy, water energy, water energy. So it's tough. It's tough, for sure. All right, number 5 on the list, Lugia V-Star. Just like in the NAIC edition of our power rankings, Lugia V-Star closes out the list in 5th place, an unusually low position for what has arguably been the most dominant deck of the season. However, don't let that fool you into thinking it won't be a major deck at the upcoming World Championships. In fact, Lugia V-Star might be in the best position it has had in a while. The Rapid Strike deck that won NAIC has a notoriously bad matchup against Lugia V-Star, and the Arceus V-Star decks that took the tournament by storm aren't good at dealing with the powerful fighting type Pokemon like Single Strike Urshifu VMAX that are a part of the Lugia's V-Star's Single Strike package. It seems like many of the decks that were popular at NAIC benefited from Lugia V-Star's recent downtrend, which could well lead to players taking another look at the deck now. Prior to NAIC, there was a lot of talk about Lugia V-Star decks that use Snorlax and Weirdeer V instead of the popular Single Strike engine, but they haven't yet lived up to the hype. Tyranitar V and friends still appear at the best, or to be the best supporting cast for this deck due to their high damage output as well as great weakness coverage. Will we see Lugia V-Star and Archeops cap their spectacular season with a World Championship title? It may not be the favorite anymore, but I wouldn't be surprised. Robin Schulz.
Have you ever played a Lugia V-Star deck?
I have not, because I don't even own a Lugia V. It's like, that's like one of those cards where it was like out the gate, it was like $20. And then I just never ponied up and bought one. But I was able to get Gardevoir, Lost Box, Arceus stuff. I finally have Duraludons. I have one Umbreon VMAX. So I have like a 1/1 line that I could play.
There you go.
All right, parting shots toward Reklev. One of the hottest topics. It was never a phase. Heading into the World Championships this year is how to combat the system of 50-minute best of 3 Swiss rounds. Popular decks such as Gardevoir EX and Lost Box are undoubtedly among the absolute strongest in the format, but they naturally take a long time to finish their games. An average game in the standard format takes about 20 to 25 minutes to conclude, which often could result in a tie for these more methodical decks. A tie is far from desirable, especially on the first day of competition, when players need an X2 record to advance to day 2. Typically, the complicated decks with a lot of options are more popular among the top players since they often provide an even matchup distribution. But more focus on the time limit might change that. I'm curious to see if players will opt for faster and more streamlined strategies, such as Arceus V-Star or Miraidon EX variants, to give themselves a better chance of finishing every best of 3 series. Did someone say Miraidon? I'm gonna ride on my Rhydon. All right, anyways.
Oh my goodness.
We might also see decks with more polarized matchups go all the way again. You don't necessarily need to be every deck in the room to win a tournament. You simply need to have a favorable matchup against the most popular decks, and hopefully avoid the rest. For the first time ever, the World Championships will be held in Japan, the homeland of Pokemon TCG. I have no doubt this year will be truly special.
All right. Christopher Schemanske, his parting shot. Worlds is truly unique among the tournaments, and that always leads to some off-the-wall deck building. On day 1, players will be looking to avoid ties ordinarily. They're just somewhat annoying, but in the day 1 structure, they're functionally useless towards getting to day 2. That'll lead, in my mind, to an unfriendly environment for Gardevoir EX and Lost Box, which are just too slow to routinely play 3 games in 50 minutes. I expect the creative Arceus V-Star list will see some play, but I think Qin Pao EX will be the true star of day 1 in a lot of ways. Interesting. Day 2 is where things get interesting. As it's only 7 or 8 rounds, the road to top 8 is both far narrower and far shorter than the average regional championships. With fewer rounds comes less margin of error, but also a lot more room for someone to get lucky with something out of the box. Every year, some players try to throw the kitchen sink at Worlds, and every year it seems to work out for someone, but a lot of heartbreak can result too. Day 2 is where I think there's room for Gardevoir EX to shine. There's no doubt that it's one of the best decks in the format, and it has answers for everything in some form or another. I've seen some speculation that the format is solved after NAIC, but I bet Worlds will demonstrate otherwise. Worlds is always a joyous celebration of everything Pokemon, and this year promises to be the celebration to top them all. Whether you're playing, staffing, or watching from home, I hope that you enjoy it.
I hope that you enjoy it as well. All right, next one's coming from Stéphane Ivanoff. One Lost Zone variant, which features Giratina V-Star and uses Comfy Colress Experiment and Giratina V's Abyss Seeking to add cards to the Lost Zone in order to use Mirage Gate, and Giratina V-Star's powerful Star Requiem attack has failed to reach our top 5. However, I believe this deck could be the surprise star of the World Championships. While it's difficult, Lost Box matchup made Giratina unpopular for a while after the standard format rotation, it still did very well for itself in Japan, where Lost Box was not as dominant. Now, as Lost Box is losing its stronghold on the metagame, Western players are looking at Giratina V-Star again and finding that it has a lot to offer. In essence, Giratina V-Star doesn't have an obvious weak point. Between having Star Requiem on hand to get rid of anything, even a Pokemon VMAX, in a single turn, Sableye Lost Mine to deal with low HP Pokemon like Kirlia, Bibarel, and Octillery, Lost Impact to KO any Pokemon VMAX, the absence of weakness on Giratina V-Star, and the combination of Roxanne and Path to the Peak to allow for comebacks against faster decks, Giratina has a plan for victory against every deck in the format. And with good matchups against Gardevoir EX and most Arceus V-Star variants, Giratina has everything that's needed to win the World Championships. I agree with that. And I'm not going to lie. I was playing Arceus with Lycanroc. And yes, I had that. But as soon as they dropped Path to the Peak, it was like, burp, okay.
I just think it's interesting
that nobody's talking about Mew VMAX.
Well, I mean,
I think that's interesting.
I just think it's interesting that we've come full circle in Giratina V-Star, where it was, this deck sucks, to now, oh, it's great.
I think Lost Box with Giratina is a great play.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think it's cheeky that each one is pretty much hinting at a different deck that's not on the list.
It's almost like they collaborated on this article.
Yeah.
Ellis Longhurst. Excitement should surround the 4 talented competitors from Oceania who have a direct invite to Day 2 of the competition. Natalie Miller and Matthew Burris both progressed to Day 2 at 2 international championships earlier this season, while the 2019 Masters Division World Champion Henry Brand bested over 1,000 competitors when he won 23 Milwaukee Regional Championships. I will be keeping my eye on Brent Tonison in particular, having placed in the top 4 in the senior division of the 2015 World Championships. Brett understands the challenges to competing at the highest level. In the Masters division, he has progressed to Day 2 of the International Championships more times than almost any other player. This season, he earned a place in the top 32 at 2 of them, including recently in North America. It feels like Brent has been building to a major victory, and I believe this year he adds another Pikachu trophy to his cabinet.
No talk of another deck.
Nope.
Okay, that's a little. Oh, here we go, Robin Schulz. There won't be any additions to the card pool between NAIC and Worlds as in previous years, but this doesn't mean that there won't be any surprises. There currently isn't a deck that's clearly the best. Many decks, including some not in our top 5 list, are at very similar power levels. Traditionally, Worlds is a tournament where players like to take a risk with their deck choice, so I'm expecting to see quite a few off-meta picks in action. Even at NAIC, we had multiple surprise decks like United Wings, Darkrai V-Star, and Tinglu EX go deep in the tournament, which may be a good indication of what's to come. Also, let's not forget about the Rapid Strike deck, which flew completely under the radar before NAIC, but then took down the whole tournament. There are a few specific players to watch if you're interested in creative deck building. One of them is Ross Cawthon, who is known for always bringing something new to the table and for his quest to finally claim the title of World Championship. As the only player to have participated in every single World Championship so far. Another player to watch is Sander Wojcik, the master of control decks. Will he be able to tackle this diverse metagame with his unique style of play? We'll soon find out.
Here's some some pictures of the authors. We don't need to read their little bios. You can read it if you want to go to the article.
But I've seen them before. I've seen those people.
All right. That was quite the long article.
That was.
I think it's time for a break.
Yes, that is. Let's take a break right now.
Okay.
All right, audio listeners, thank you so much for hanging out and listening to that. That was a lot, but audio, like, I prefer that kind of information in audio form. I appreciate that you're going to have it for audio listening, because that's something, all that information I would love to hear. So I thank you for sticking that out with us, because that was a lot, but it's all very good and useful information, especially because they talked about Darkrai. So if anybody is coming in with Gardevoir, you could sneakily get some easy wins with Darkrai. The only time that we'll see Darkrai, I don't know. Darkrai is just such a weird play, and I think, I don't know. This is the time you play Honchkrow V. You play Honchkrow V with the four tools ability. Welcome back, Justin.
Yes, I'm back. Sorry, I had to turn down the air. It was getting hot in this room. It doesn't help that I also have the chameleon cage with his light up there. So I had the door closed. I was like, I'm sweating. Need
you're
air.
Also in Texas.
Yeah. So having a heat lamp plus a closed room with the AC set at 76 didn't help.
Oof. Yeah, I was just discussing that, like, all these cheeky decks are, like, there's reasons that they hinted at them. That's not, Pokemon was like, hey, here, we need a top 5 list. And then they were like, yes, but we still feel like these decks need mentioning. So just something to think about. So if you're testing and you have one of those 5 decks built, you need to be able to beat all the other decks in a timely fashion. Also test some of the things that you might not think will be there, like Miraidon EX, like Darkrai, like Ting-Lu. And good luck to everybody going to Worlds, because that's impressive that you got there. It's impressive that you're there. Let us know how you did. All right, Justin, are you ready to come back?
Yep.
All right. Hang on 1 second here. And we are back. Thank you so much for that break. We needed it. Justin needed to cool himself down. He's in the hot heat of Texas and turning some cool air down.
Yeah.
All right. And then after that, we have some housekeeping to get through real quick before we continue on with the show. This podcast is powered by Patreon. Check ours out over at patreon.com/Pokemon Professor, where you can support this show for as little as $1 a month. That $1 is going to get you access to our patron exclusive Discord, which is a fantastic place filled with fantastic people. All patrons are eligible to participate in our monthly Pogo and TCG live prize tournaments. Registration is in the Discord, and we hope to see you there. Huge thank you to our gym leaders, Absolutely Ryan, Austin Zard, Bean and Cheese, DJ Wonderbread, Hall the Counselor, GK, Sue, Jamal, Joseph, Mythical Hitch, Beardbow Baggins, and Big Zom Minus. And special thanks to our executive producer, Tish Smith, as well as our other executive producers on the network, Paul Bott, Kate the Cons, and Stinky Ash. Let's just take a second real quick. We appreciate you, Tish. You've been our executive producer for as long as I can remember, if not all time.
Yeah.
And we seriously appreciate you. Hope you're doing well, and we'll see you at GoFest. Make sure you check out PokemonProfessor.com for links to everywhere you can connect with us, grab some merch, and leave us a review. We greatly appreciate it. Also, keep in mind, reviews, keep those coming, because That's how you can also win a TGA
Have you
mystery
looked?
slab.
Have you
I
looked?
haven't
Have we
yet.
gotten any?
I haven't looked yet because I don't think that episode is out yet.
Ah,
Yeah. So we are going to continue on with the Pokemon Championship Series. The new information was released and telling us exactly what we are going to need
oh wait,
moving forward.
there you go. Yeah, so I'm not going to read this whole article, but there's a lot of good information here, especially if you're unfamiliar with it. It kind of talks about the championship series as a whole. If you don't know what it is, it's about it's what Worlds is in a couple of weeks. It's all that's like the culmination, and then we start the season over again. Technically, the season started at the beginning 1st of July. That's
I
when you
think
can
so,
start
yeah.
earning points again for the next season. So
Yeah. And I mean,
all
the two. Sorry, you can keep going.
I was going to say that's like what the league cups and the league challenges are. Going to pre-releases, that gets you, might only be a couple points, but it's still points.
Wait,
and
a
you'll need a
pre-release
lot
gets
of
you
them for next
points?
season. Yeah, if it's like a sanctioned one or whatever. I mean, it should be if they have pre-release boxes. Yeah, go to your Play Pokemon account. You should at least get a point or two.
That's wild. I didn't know that. I'm like, yes, I got 390 from local events, and then I got 2 for going to a pre-release.
Yeah, so
But the too long didn't read is you now need 6 for Masters Division. You need 600 championship points. And instead of a best limit of 8, it's now best limit of 6 for all league challenges and league cups and regionals, NIIC and EUICs and SEs, like special events. Those ones, like if you win, you get an automatic invite to Worlds.
fun fact, also second place at international championships gets you an
Oh,
automatic invite.
second place. That's cool. That's good to know. And
Yeah, I mean, those are huge.
And so in doing all of your local events, if you get 6 wins on cups and 6 wins in a league challenges, that number that you can get is 390 points. That is not enough to get your World's invite. Hot take, Justin.
Wait, 390. How'd you get to 390? 6 times 5.
6 times 5
300.
and 15 times 6.
What's the 15?
That's championship points from league challenges.
Ah, got it. I was only thinking of the cups.
I just didn't want you to have to do the math. No, you're like, I'm a math guy. That's what I do. So 390 through that. So it forces you. You will have to go to some regionals. And if you place well, then it will put you on that grind for doing the local events. Like if you can get enough points at a regional. Yeah. And I don't know what the point structure are for regionals. Can you find like what top cut gets real quick? Or if you can see that. Championship point payout, click that one. Click that.
Where do you see that?
It's like the third clickable thing.
This? Oh.
Yep. You can't see my mouse over it, but my mouse was there.
TCG championship points.
And then do right there. Up. Nope. Oh, I guess that works. It would take you right to it, but.
Oh. Yeah, so League Challenge, first place, 15 points. League Cup, first place, 50 points. And that they have these kickers. So if you have 21 participants and you get in the top 5 through 8, you get 25 points. Oh, I didn't realize you got that many. This is like reasonable for me.
No, I know. It's doable.
I might actually get points this season. I mean, I had a few points from last season, but
Yeah. All right, regional and the champ. This is what we want to see. So first place is 200.
I mean, you automatically get invited anyways, but 200. Let's see. If I just got top
But if
256,
you got
30
second
points.
place, you got 160. So that's 3, 4, 5,
And I think
55. You'd be at 550 for getting second. Or 500. Let's just say 530 for coming in third through fourth. Like you did so well at regionals, but you still don't have your invite. that's kind of ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, but what's different this year is if you're just in the top 512 and there's over 1,000 people, you get points.
Hey, I was in. Didn't I get like 257? So I
I
would have
think
gotten
so.
20 points. That's cool. That's cool. So it's like I mean, you can like it depends if you grind out like 17 regionals or all the regionals and you get 30 points here, 30 points there. Wait, is there a best limit? Go back up. Go back up real quick. What's the best limit on regional? 3? Oh no, limit is
No.
6. Okay. So combined 6. So I mean, it's theoretically doable. It's theoretically doable. And like that's for me like lowballing it and like placing like, I get 40 points here, 40 points there, 40 points there, 50 points there.
Here point, there point, everywhere point. All
Old
right.
Mick Regional had a regional.
And its name was
EIEIEIO.
International Championship.
Yeah, and there's no limit on these. So if you go and travel far and
Well, I
wide,
mean, there's a
and
limit. It's called 4.
Well, no, the International Championship says best finish limit, no limit.
I know, but because there's only 4 of them.
Yeah. Okay. But still, you could do if there was 2,046 people, and you did so bad, and you got 1,024.
2,046. I mean, that's like more than we've ever had.
Yeah. Okay. Well, regardless, let's just say you do again top fit 512. You get 60 points just for being there.
But
that's kind of impressive.
The fact
mean,
that they have this kicker number up to that high means they expect
people to travel.
Maybe they're booking bigger venues because NAIC like sold out in minutes.
Yes.
So it's not like they have problems getting having people signing up to go. It's having venues and spaces big enough allotted for it.
Yeah.
All right.
But I mean, it essentially caters to if you've got money and you can travel, you probably will be able to get your World's invite.
Or you just get a van.
But if you're local and you can't do many things and you have like one regional, even like you either have to win or get second place. Yeah. Or you still won't make it. So that's, I don't know, that's a little disheartening. So even if you grinded out all of your local events, because that's as far as traveling as you could do. Yeah. So it's kind of it feels like a pay to win. But I mean, obviously you still have to do well,
but you're paying with time more than anything.
And time, that's something you can't get back. Facts.
Yeah, you can just invent a way to travel back in time. So
just throw yourself in the dryer.
They announced.
Just kidding.
They had a preview of some of the regional championships coming up. They announced a few weeks ago. That was to the ones that are in like September or October. They're like, hey, by the way, these are coming up. But now I didn't mean to scroll that far. They've released more of them. So we already knew about Pittsburgh, Peoria, Sacramento, Toronto, but San Antonio, that is a new one. And that's only a 4-hour drive from me. So that's definitely on my radar to go to. And it's organized by Day 2 events, which I really liked Day 2 events when I went to Arlington last year. It's a good time. Okay. There's Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, I just wish it wasn't across the United States,
Yeah,
Makes it very difficult to get there,
There's Charlotte, North Carolina. We already know some people going to that one for the Go stuff. But that one's coming up.
January 19th to 21st. It's like prime time to take a vacation for me.
Another
It's like slow
Knoxville
time. So
there's
I mean,
Vancouver,
if I
Orlando.
if I play my cards right, I could probably attend 3.
Mhm.
And it's going to be a lot of traveling, but if I play my cards right, I could probably go to 3 regionals. The one in Texas, the one in Ontario, or no, just kidding. It's Toronto.
Toronto.
Or well, Toronto. Yeah.
It is Ontario.
Yeah.
Toronto,
Okay.
Ontario.
So Toronto, San Antonio, Texas, and then possibly the North Carolina one.
Mm-hmm.
That would, honestly, it's probably easier to fly to Florida, but we know people in Charlotte, so I think we can make that a little bit easier. And they're far enough away where we could plan for those. It's not end of the world here.
Yeah, in theory, knock on wood, flights have become more reasonable again. They're not like you got to book it months in advance or you're paying $1,000. Oh god, like when we flew to Seattle last year for Pokemon Go Fest, that was so expensive.
That was gnarly.
Whereas this year I'm going to New York City for like $200 round trip.
Yeah, I think mine was very reasonable as well. All right, I think that's all we have for today. That we read through everything. We got through everything. Oh, I did go to a pre-release, so I guess we could talk about that real quick. I did go to a pre-release. I went 2 and 1.
Did you get
I would have taken a picture
packs for like going 2 and 1?
Nope.
Wham.
Nope. How much typically is a pre-release?
The ones around here I've been seeing 25, maybe 30.
Okay.
What?
I'm just like trying to ask what's the average?
Because
do we have anybody in chat that knows the average? Like what is like the average price that people are paying?
I don't know. I think it really depends. Around here I've been paying either 25 or 30.
Okay, that sounds reasonable and or correct.
And it's like you get your box, and then depending on which location I'm at, you either get the 3 additional packs after you complete your rounds, or you get the 3 additional packs to like build in with your box. It just depends.
Okay.
It's not always 3 packs. Sometimes it's like 1 or 2, but same deal.
Yeah, see, it's like and it's just weird because every store is different, and like that's weird. It's like, what is the standard? What is like? Does anybody know what you're supposed to get and how much it's supposed to be? Like that, like it's just weird that so many locations have so many different ways. Like when I went to that one place for the Sword and Shield pre-release, like I'm not going to mention the name because that's disrespectful, but it's one of those. I went and we didn't get the extra packs.
Yeah, the whole like
it was just like, wow, I just feel like I paid money for nothing. Like I just got robbed essentially. So
yeah, I'm just at this point, I'm just discounting all of the previous like until they officially brought back local play with like league cups and challenges. Anything before that was the Wild West. Now it should
so I'm
be
just
regulated.
trying to figure out. Yeah, I just want to know what the regular stuff.
If they want to still be able to hold challenges and cups, they got to follow the rules.
Correct. I agree. Yeah, because back then, like, there's been a lot of things where, like, oh, like in order to entice people to go into your shop, like, here's a promo you can hand out if they buy product. Period. And it's, I don't know.
Speaking of promo to hand out, did you see there's a Umbreon and Espeon promo?
Where?
Umbreon is GameStop, Espeon is Best Buy.
What?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna have to find these.
It's I don't think it comes out for like another week or 2, but
oh, okay.
I think it's on
they're really trying to force me to go to Best Buy now.
I think it's on the release date for Obsidian Flames.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Spend $15 and
yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I'll look into it more. We'll report back next week on it. All right. You can email us, specialconditions@pokemonprofessor.com. You can leave us a voicemail, text us, send us a picture, 732-835-8639. You can support the show by shopping at tcgplayer.com using our link. It's in the description. Doesn't cost you anything, helps us. And again, don't forget to use Full Heal at tgacards.com for 10% off your order. If you submit anything, let us know. We would love to hear how your process went, how that order went. And if you have any issues, let me know. We will get through this together. But remember, trainers, if you're affected by a special condition, don't forget to use a Full Heal.
Bye.
Adios.